What is up, YouTube? That's here. Today I'm back from you guys another top 5 list. Today we're going over the top 5 dark types specifically for the VGC 2022 Series 13 format. Remember, you guys can influence every single video we're going to make by leaving a comment letting me know the type you want me to feature next. We've already featured Steel. We're going to feature dark types. Maybe we do Fire. Maybe we do Fairy. Maybe we do Ghost types. Let me know in the comments below, and the comments that get the most amount of comments, I guess, the type that gets the most amount of comments will make a whole video for featuring the top 5 best Pokemon of that type for the Series 13 format, which, for those guys that don't remember, starts on September 1st and features both multiple restricteds and mythical Pokemon for the first time ever. So today, yeah, let's start things off. There's a ton of cool dark types. Basically, the way that I like to make my list is I like to go through just a bunch of my boxes. I put a bunch of whatever type we're going to be working on in a single box, and then from there, we take a look at this box and we pull Pokemon from them, talk a little about their sets, a little about their playstyle, and a little bit about what partners they might be paired with to potentially counter the Series 13 meta. So I think the first Pokemon we're going to start off with, this may be a little bit of a reach. This Pokemon is either going to see a decent amount of play or absolutely none, but I do think it's worth mentioning, is going to be Zarude. This is going to be the specifically the event Zarude from the I think it was one of the movie events or something. This gets basically Leaf Guard, which is pretty useless, but it's okay. It gets a decent speed tier. The fact that it's a grass dark type is actually really nice. I know Shiftry is a grass dark type. The cool thing about being a grass type here is that it's unaffected by the effects of Rage Powder, which, if you guys have actually been following a bunch of the Series 13 tournaments, Amoonguss is in every single team. So if you're going to be using a Choice Band, Life Orb Zarude, and you're going to max it, you can one-shot those Calyrexes through Protect if they're going to be pairing it with an Amoonguss to set up Trick Room. So it's actually usable. It's okay as a Scarfmon. It gets U-Turn, Close Combat, Power Up Lariat. Pretty cool moves overall. Decent attack stat. Obviously, this guy still need to put my Dynamax candy on. But yeah, I think this Pokemon is definitely usable in this format. I think it's definitely usable. It has a good enough speed stat, good enough attack stat, very, very unique typing, and I think I've mentioned this in previous videos. Intimidate's not going to be nearly as popular in this format, and even if it was, like we said, it gets close combat. So I think this Pokemon's definitely usable. It's definitely worth including in this list, and if you guys have any ideas for how we could feature this Pokemon, let me know. I think a weakness policy set featuring this guy could actually be pretty cool, maybe through Talonflame Peck, Gale Wings policy proc the Zarude. That could be really cool. If you give this guy a policy proc, it could definitely be a really, really good mon. It has a great matchup versus Kyogre and Groudon. So I think that's another really, really good reason why this guy might get used. Let's go to the next one. The next one might be a big surprise that we're going to be putting it this low, right? There's a lot of really, really good Pokemon on this list, but the next guy is going to be Urshifu Dark at the 4th spot. You may be thinking, Urshifu Dark, that's the best Pokemon ever. Obviously, it gets Unseen Fist, which lets it go through Protect, and it gets Wicked Blow, which is a 100% chance crit move. This Pokemon is so freaking good. It's been good in every single format ever since it's been released. And the reason it's only 4th is just because it's incredibly one-dimensional at a relatively slow speed tier. I see this Pokemon being okay, but even critical hit stabbed moves aren't actually enough to take out most restricted. So let's take a look at most of what teams are packing right now. There's a lot of Amoonguss. There's a lot of awkwardly Zekroms. There's a lot of Ho-Oh. There is a lot of Kyogre. These are Pokemon that Urshifu does a lot of damage to, but it can't pick up the OHKO. It can't pick up the one-hit KO. The reason Urshifu was good in the past is because it could OHKO everything that it hit. If they live even at a sliver of health, this Pokemon is not great because they one-shot you back or clock your Sash, and if you're doing so, that takes your Sash away from your team, so you can't put it on any of your support Pokemon. So Urshifu is basically filling the role of a restricted on most teams that it's on, and unless it's Scarfed, it's relatively falling short, I would say. Yes, it does get access to Stab Ghost Combat, which is nice, but again, very, very one-dimensional Pokemon. I still think it's going to see a ton of play. Obviously, it's going to be better than things like Pangoro, which share the same typing, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as strong as it was in previous formats. So we're moving right along here. A lot of people might actually rank this Pokemon number 1, but I think this is going to show just how strong this format's going to be, and that's going to be Grimmsnarl. Obviously, we're not going to be able to escape Grimmsnarl. A popular white clay set can set dual screens. It gets speed control between like Thunderwave and Scary Face. You can go for Spirit Break, you can go for Foul Play, you can even G-Max and go for a like G-Max Snooze to actually get a 50% chance to yawn opponent's Pokemon. I think Grimmsnarl is a really, really good Pokemon for this format. I guess it's not good for the format, but it's a good Pokemon in the format. It's a little bit of an enigma, you know. I think personally my least favorite things about these formats are the percent chances for people to go for multiple different teams that can pull people in so many different ways and create a bunch of little micro 50-50s. Grimmsnarl is the king of that. Am I going to Reflect? Am I going to White Screen? Am I going to Scary Face? Am I going to Thunderwave? Am I going to Fake Out? There's so many different things Grimmsnarl can do that it's definitely going to have a place in this format. And similar to us talking about how Amoonguss is very popular in this format so far, Grimmsnarl's also been very, very popular in the tournament scene so far on like Smogon and Pokemon Showdown and stuff like that. So I think Grimmsnarl is going to be pretty good in this format. You can expect to see like teams of like heavy restricted and legendaries with like a Grimmsnarl as the one non-restricted mon, and that's a solid option. Grimmsnarl brings a lot to the table, and it's a great Pokemon if you can't get these mythicals that you can slap onto your team, and it's going to do an amazing job supporting your team in every way that you might need it to. We can also get like Sucker Punch to be able to like KO like Shadow Riders, Solgaleos, and a bunch of those other really pesky mons. So Grimmsnarl's going to be a pretty good mon in this format. And then there were two. Obviously, number 2 is going to be but no, I'm kidding. I was going to say Weavile as a joke, but no, it's going to be Incineroar. We have the superior Fake Out user. A lot of people think Incineroar is going places. It's not going anywhere. If you're looking for any Intimidate user in this format, this is by far and away the best Intimidate user for this format. Incineroar gets Intimidate, it gets Fake Out, it gets Parting Shot. You have Stab Dark moves in Throat Chop and Darkest Lariat. It gets that big Flare Blitz to like low-key check Zacian while also being able to actually to max and reset the weather. Incineroar is just really, really good, right? A lot of people think that Incineroar is going to drop off now that you use Restricteds, and even though I would say obviously Incineroar has less base stats than a lot of Restricteds, it's still going to see a very, very, very healthy amount of play because there's not a price you can put on intimidating something that would normally be able to KO one of your Restricteds, and then because of that Intimidate, because of that Fake Out pin on something like a Zacian, it allows that Restricted to actually carry the game, win the game by itself. So like Incineroar next to something that needs to get a speed control off, like let's say a Tailwind or a Trick Room, or even just like safely be able to play whatever its role is correctly, that's not going to be something you can actually put a price on. And I do think that Incineroar will see play. From what I've seen so far, a lot of teams are going like 4 legendary / mythicals with like a Redirection Mon and an Incineroar. If you actually take a look at a lot of tournament results, that's what we're seeing. And I think Incineroar is just a really, really, really good mon. You have to respect so much more with an Incineroar being added to a team that it's just going to be really, really good. I personally don't see myself using a lot of it just because I feel that it's not like it's too good. I don't have a problem using it because it's too good. I just personally feel it's boring. Like, yeah, I could add Fake Out, but there's so many other cooler Fake Out users like Mindshow. I think Persian's another really cool Fake Out user, which is also a dark type. But yeah, Incineroar's good, Intimidate's good, Parting Shot's good, access to big, strong dark attacks and fire attacks. Really, really good mon. You can expect to see a ton of it this format. So the last Pokemon, I'm sure you guys can tell what it is. The best dark type in the format. There's only one real restricted Pokemon left on here. It's obviously going to be Yveltal. Yveltal will be literally, at least for the first month, maybe the first couple months, at least until the meta settles, almost probably near the end of October, this Pokemon will be on every single team that you are going to play against because it doesn't really cost a lot to throw a Yveltal on your team. Yveltal solves so many matchups. You need an Airstream, Yveltal. It's a big stab, really, really good mon. You need a Vest user, Yveltal. You need a Caloric Shadow check, Yveltal. You need a answer to mons that want to set Trick Room. I would say most mons in the format that set Trick Room are Psychic type, which means Yveltal checks them super hard with his dark typing. Yveltal is absolutely amazing. It's probably the best Vest user in this format. It's even better than Kyber. It gets Snarl. You can even go for like Heat Waves to be able to check Zacians after you get an Airstream boost. You can always go for big Foul Plays or Dark Pulses. Very, very, very solid Pokemon that I almost want to say the meta is going to be built around. I would say most of the teams in the format are going to be built around Yveltal because, again, it's so easy to slip onto teams, and once it's already on there, it commands the team preview. So Yveltal, really, really solid mon. I think we're going to see a ton of it. I think in terms of what we expect the format to be, there's going to be a lot of Zacian, a lot of Zamazenta, maybe 1 to 2 Pokemon that aren't like big legendaries, so maybe like Incin, Amoonguss, Indeedee, right? And then like 2 to 3 big other restricteds. So yes, they can max those restricteds, but Yveltal is going to be the maximon on so many teams. Like if your board is going to be like Kyogre, Zacian, Yveltal, and a Mythical, or Kyogre, Yveltal, Zacian, Amoonguss, you're not going to max the Ogre because you want to Spout or Origin Pulse. You can't max your Zacian, you're not maxing your Amoonguss or your Incin/Grim support Pokemon. You're maxing Yveltal. Yveltal 100% is the cleanup mon you can bring to come out mid-game, pop that mid-game max, get those big airstreams, and allow your other teammates to win the game after the +1 speed control. So Yveltal is going to be pretty popular. This is my top 5 list. I would implore you guys to let me know. Did I forget a dark Pokemon that was like really, really broken? Let me know in the comments, and let me know your top 5 as well as the Pokemon type that you want to see me feature in the next video. Like I said, we're doing Steel, we're doing Dark. There's so many cool types we have to get done before the end of the month, so let me know in the comments what type you want to see me work on next. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. Peace out, and I'll see you guys next time.